Hello Tai Chiers, my name is Matt Holker. As you know by now, I work with Tai Chi Master Richard Clear, and together we help Tai Chi students and teachers all over the world to rapidly build internal power for self-defense and health. And I've been talking about that over the course of several videos now, and I'm gonna continue on that subject. I just want to take a moment to kind of summarize everything that we've gone over in these videos in case you're someone who's kind of just joining us, so you can see what sort of the backlog of these things is that awaits you. So some of the things that we've touched on early on in the process, we touched on using internal power for self-defense and how having internal power makes you stronger, makes you legitimately physically stronger, even though you're putting in less effort. It makes you legitimately physically stronger even though you're putting in less effort. It makes you more... I'm sorry about the cicadas, by the way. I tried to find the best environment for this that was both away from the traffic and the cicadas, and I failed. I hope you can hear me over the noise of that racket. But by the way, if you're into this stuff, before I forget, please head to taichimadeclear.com. But so to summarize what we've gone over, we've talked about internal power for self-defense, how it makes you stronger, makes you more resilient to incoming strikes. It lets you hit harder with less effort. It lets you just do things in the world with less effort. Even if you're never in a fight, you can get around in your day-to-day life with a lot less effort and still every bit as much, if not a lot more power. And what happens is there's a fly buzzing around me. What happens is that you conserve a lot more energy, and so you have a lot more energy. You have a lot more kind of get up and go, to use throughout the day. And if you use less energy, it stands to reason that you would have more energy. And so that's one of the ways that internal power benefits you both for self-defense and health. And we've touched on that in a bunch of different ways, in a bunch of different aspects of how internal power gives you benefit both to make you a stronger person and a healthier person, and it does that at the same time. Now there's a plane going by. Facebook really does not want me to keep this quiet, so I'm just going to shout. The whole key, the whole thing that we've been talking about in all these videos, I hope it's clear to you, is that even though we've been touching on these things in just one way or another, in one aspect of the Tai Chi or another, that really all of these things come together, and that the whole art is about living a longer, healthier life, safe from harm. That's what the whole art delivers, and it does that through internal power. And we've talked about that, from self-defense, from the self-defense side of things. We've talked about that from the health side of things. And now I've been focusing in on the rapid part of things, the rapid improvement, the rapid development of internal power for self-defense and health. And so I want to continue on that theme today a little bit. I want to kind of touch base on some of the earlier videos that we've talked about, because some of them were about kind of multiple things. And so there have been several of these videos that I've done over the course of the last several weeks that have actually been on this topic, even though I didn't necessarily call them out that way. And I want to kind of point that out for anybody watching who hopefully remembers them. So one of the things that we talked about for that was just the first thing, really. You gotta find good instruction somewhere, and I talked about a lot specifics on how to find a good teacher, and I'm not going to go into all of that detail again today. But if you're looking for more quality instruction, you've got to go to taichimadeclear.com for that. There's plenty more quality instruction to be had at taichimadeclear.com, but that would be a good place to start. But then you've got to have an ongoing Tai Chi curriculum, and so you've got to really understand, in order to know whether or not you've got a good curriculum to work from, you've really got to understand the big picture of Tai Chi. And so that's another thing that I talked about, is that you've really got to see all of the training steps from beginning to end, and kind of what they are, and get a big picture, broad brushstroke sense of the art. That is another way that to supercharge your internal power development. It's really at this point, you're just building a foundation. And so that's the next thing that I talked about, is building that foundation internal power as quickly as you can by removing as much of the choreography as you can legitimately get away with. And so getting a really short form to do your Tai Chi with. I'm talking about like way less than 24 moves. I'm talking about like 8 moves. That's the form in our system. We typically use an 8-move form to train with. Now we have longer forms. We have a 13, a 16, a 48. I think there's one in between. And I don't know all of those forms personally, because I don't use all of those forms. I use the 8 and the 13 mainly to train internal power stuff, and I use the 48 to work on very specific things that I'm kind of honing in on for long-term development and really honing in on. But for any piece of the puzzle that's new to me that I'm trying to train early on, I'm doing that in a short form, and that's all of our students do that, and we teach the short form up front and then get right to the heart of internal power. And then it's really easy to add more choreography later once you already have the quality of movement that you're looking for. And so that's another one of the keys that we talked about, is having yourself a short form. And so along with that, all of these things I hope you're starting to see kind of come together. If you have the quality instruction available to you and you have a good short form to practice it in, you've really got the keys right there to build a very strong Tai Chi foundation. And then you build up from that foundation, and you add on to it. But you start there. You start by building a really strong Tai Chi foundation. Now, one of the other key things that I talked about yesterday is teaching. Teaching and sharing. More important than teaching is sharing. Teaching is a big part of sharing, but you're not always going to be in the teacher role. It's not always appropriate for you to be in the teacher role, but sharing with your fellow Tai Chiers, with your peers, with new people, and trying to grow the art, and trying to work with as many people as possible and get hands-on with as many people as possible. That is going to be another key factor in your success. And so, we already talked about that a little bit. Now, what I want to really hone in on is that quality instruction. I've talked a little bit about this before, but today, the key point that I want to make is that quality instruction that you're after, that central piece, that first thing that you really need in order to make everything else work and in order to make everything else matter. You can build up a bunch of training partners, but if you don't know what to do with them, you're not getting anywhere. You need that quality instruction first and foremost. And so because that is such an important piece of it, what I want to share with you right now is how to find that quality instruction wherever you are on planet Earth. And so I will qualify that with one caveat, is that in order for this to really work for you, you definitely need to be able to speak English or have like a really good translator, because I only know of an English service that does this. But the Clear Tai Chi Online has all of the quality instruction that you're after. Now, it doesn't come with a live teacher. It comes with a recording of a live teacher. That has drawbacks that people kind of see right away. It has so many more benefits than that, though. You get to you have recordings that you can replay, you can rewind and watch over and over and over again. Try to find a teacher that's going to stand there for you and do the same thing over and over and over again until you kind of get it. A teacher worth his salt that's going to do that for you is super rare. It does not come with training partners like a Tai Chi school kind of comes with training partners, but if you have the motivation and you can get on meetups.com, you can build your own group of training partners, and if you've got a higher quality of instruction that goes further and deeper into the art, so you can see where you're at in it and you've got that big picture perspective and you can really move forward. And that was one of the other keys that I talked about, is graduate, do the work that you need to do for this level, but then move on to the next level. And if you can see that big picture and you can see where you're at in the process and you can gauge all that, you're much more likely to end up pushing yourself towards your ultimate goals. When you have a live instructor, it's really easy for people to let that instructor kind of do the work for them. And so there are lots of benefits to having a live instructor. I'm not trying to tell you to quit your Tai Chi school if you already have one. Do not do that. They're very valuable. Any education is good education, and if you have training partners to work with built in to your school, then so much the better. Don't lose that. But probably, if you're not getting, I will say definitely, if you're not getting what you thought you should be getting from Tai Chi, or you're not getting it fast enough, you need to supplement your education. You need that first fundamental piece so that you have the right instruction to progress in the art. And sometimes that means backing it up even further. Sometimes that means you got a piece that's too advanced for where you're at right now, and you need to stair-step it up to that. And you might need a creative way to do that. Or you might need somebody who has already found a creative way to do that, is more to the point. And so, Richard Clear has this long history with teaching students very, very, very well, and very, very, very quickly. And his online program does that extremely well. We have students all over the world who are making incredible progress. And so I don't want this to be all about like a plug for Clear Tai Chi Online, because I'm not even trying to get you to do that. If you want more Tai Chi education, actually go to taichimadeclear.com. That's where I want you to go. But that is available. And so, what I'm kind of pointing out is, what I'm really trying to say is, if you want to supercharge your Tai Chi, get more education, get a better foundation in the art, in what you're up to, get a better training progression that is designed to move you along faster, and use that to supplement whatever you've already got going on. If you don't have anything else going on, go back and watch my earlier videos and get something going on. You should have plenty to work with from that. But I'm assuming that if you're watching this at this point, you probably have some Tai Chi experience already, or you've been watching my videos and you kind of know what to do. If you haven't even, maybe you haven't taken action on it yet, but you at least have a game plan. And so, take those steps. But again, first and foremost, you've got to get that education, and you've got to get it in a form that is proven, in a form that is tested, in a form that works. And so there's one out there that I know works. Maybe there's others that you can find that also work. Beware of imposters. That's all I'll say about that. Buyer beware. But there is at least one out there that will work for you anywhere that you are in the world, as long as you speak English. If you're watching my video right now, I'm assuming you do. So get that. Invest in that for yourself. That is the cornerstone of all of your development. And yes, you need partners. And yes, you need to practice. And yes, you need to get hands-on with as many people as possible. And yes, ideally, you will teach a bunch of new people a bunch of this stuff. And that'll help you too. But all of that really depends on getting that first level of education, that quality Tai Chi education. You have to have that for any of the other stuff to matter. And so get that any way you can, any way you have to. I tell you, a great first place to start is taichimadeclear.com. I hope that's sunk in by now. Definitely check that out. If you're watching this and you find any of this helpful, you need to go to taichimadeclear.com. But yeah, find that education any way you can get it. If you already have a teacher, if you have to beg them to become an indoor disciple, maybe that's worth it. Maybe not. Maybe you would rather just find a good online platform that gives you the education where you don't have to make that kind of life commitment. But I'm going to leave those kinds of decisions up to you. I just want you to know that education is out there. It's available for you. And because it's available in a way that it's never been available before through the internet, you have no excuse. If you are interested in internal power, you've got to take advantage of this, man. This is a rare moment in history that we have here, where this stuff is actually out there publicly for anybody who's willing to work it. We are in a really, really, really fortunate position with this information right now, and so take advantage of that. Start taking advantage of that by going to taichimadeclear.com. If you haven't seen my other videos, go back and watch those, and continue tuning in, and hopefully I will find a quieter and slightly cooler place to do this next time, but more next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.